What's up, guys? Welcome back to the UFC arena. This is UFC 257, Chandler versus Hooker, Hindsight. Now, Hindsight is a series where we look back at the fight after it took place because we know hindsight is 2020. So we would have had our ideas going into the fight. So now let's see what proved to be right and let's see what proved to be wrong and what we learned after watching the fight. Okay, so Chandler versus Hooker. Boy, this was as shocking to me as McGregor versus Poirier. Okay, almost as shocking to me. Firstly, as I said in my prediction video, I thought that Dan Hooker had all the right tools to beat Michael Chandler. And he still does, right? His knees, his uppercuts, and his chokes are all elite anti-wrestling techniques. And I assume that this would give Chandler quite a few problems. And if they fought on the feet, I believe that Hooker would have the advantage. I gave Chandler less of a chance on the feet, and boy was I wrong, right? Because he won the fight on the feet. He didn't shoot a single takedown. Secondly, I didn't think that Chandler would be able to close the distance on Hooker and cut off the cage as successfully as he did. And thirdly, I underestimated the power of Michael Chandler. Now, I knew that Michael Chandler had power in his hands. I knew that he knocked out Benson Henderson in his last fight before he joined the UFC. And I knew that he had quite a few KOs in his career. However, I also weighed that against how durable and how tough Dan Hooker is. Because if you look back in Hooker's career, we saw that fight versus Edson Barbosa, the amount of toughness that Hooker showed there. Hooker versus Felder, again, the amount of toughness was unreal. Hooker versus Poirier. So Hooker has shown to be durable and to be able to take shots one after the next. So I knew that Chandler was powerful, but I didn't think that he would one-shot Hooker the way he did. I mean, Dan gets hit a lot, right? We always see it. But he's not easy to finish. But apparently no one told Chandler that because he make Hooker face plant real fast. Now, I see some people saying that Hooker looked nervous. Hooker looked flat. He didn't look good at all, etc. And those things may be true, but that's not what I saw. To me, it was clear that Hooker had a game plan and was sticking to it. His plan was to circle to the right away from Chandler's power hand while using subtle feints to see how Chandler would react, all the while staying ready to defend the takedown at any moment. It seemed that Hooker definitely intended to stay safe and use the first few minutes as a feeling out process. However, apparently there is no feeling out process with Michael Chandler. I saw an interview with Eugene Behrman, right, Dan Hooker's head coach, and he said that they were very pleased with what Dan was doing at the start of the fight. It seemed as though everything was going according to the game plan, and everything was coming together nicely until it wasn't, right? And if you ask me, there wasn't too much that Hooker did wrong. Unfortunately for Hooker, Chandler was just on point that night and he was brilliant. He caught Hooker with a very sneaky left hook after feinting to the body with his right. And full credit to Chandler, this was not a fluke. He knew exactly what he was doing. The man himself, Chael Sonnen, always says that the threat of the takedown is just as dangerous as the actual takedown. And that is such a true statement because when a fighter is too focused on defending the takedown, it takes them out of their own game, especially a striker. It takes them out of their own game and they tend to leave themselves open to many strikes. And they might even find themselves getting knocked down or knocked out by lesser strikers. A clear example of this was Khabib versus Conor. The threat of the takedown with Khabib is so great that he was able to drop Conor even though Conor is the better striker. And Chandler was able to do the same. He knocked down Hooker because Hooker had his hands low in anticipation of the takedown. Chandler's right to the body served as a feint. Because of how he dropped his hips, Dan went into takedown defense mode and he never saw that left hand coming. Chandler connected flush and that was all she wrote. The fight game is a cruel mistress sometimes because In one fight, you might be able to make 10 mistakes and you might not be punished for it, or you would not be punished severely for it. And in another fight, you might make one simple mistake and that's the end of it. No time to recover. Anyway, that's the end of this hindsight. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe and hit that bell. It would help me out so much. Thanks again, and I'll see you all in the next one.